Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the group.
Disclaimer. The content of this video is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. While some hosts and guests featured in this video may be licensed therapists, the discussions reflect personal experiences and opinions and are not a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Viewers experiencing mental health issues or needing support should seek guidance from a qualified professional. Viewer discretion is advised, as the video may contain content related to sensitive topics such as mental health, self-doubt, and personal challenges. By watching this video, you agree that the creators and participants are not liable for any decisions or actions taken based on the content of this video. Always consult a professional for advice tailored to your specific situation. Welcome to the group.
Got better.
Too bad I don't have like the ability not to wear glasses. You can see the eye color because of the light. I always wanted to do that.
Oh yeah, sure. Because it's like, oh, look at my pretty eyes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Welcome to the group, everyone. My name is Victorious. I am 36 years old. I am dealing with isolation, loneliness, and I am having great conversations like this one so that I can hold myself more accountable and be a better person tomorrow. Take it away, Louis.
My name is Luis Rodriguez. I have been in mental health for over 20 years, and I'm not 35 or 36, and I look forward to today's conversation.
All right. Before we get started, we opened up our emails so that you can write to us if you have an issue, anything that comes to mind. Shoot us an email, and we will help you. We'll try to do our best to guide you or point you in the right direction so that you can make better choices tomorrow. So make sure you check in the caption. The information will be there, and this way we can try to help some folks out.
Cool. Sir, how was your week? What's on your mind? How you feeling? What's going on? We don't have enough time for like subtleties, so I figured I'd just ask the direct question.
Wait, why not? Are you in a rush?
No. It's only an hour. And like today was Monday and I could talk forever. So I'm asking that question to laser it for the hour. Today's a heavy day. I'm tired. I haven't slept all night. If you ask me a question about how's my day, I could go on forever. So in trying to like get to a good conversation without the small shit, I was just asking all of the questions to help provoke the best version of the answer.
Okay. Do you have your notes with you or all that stuff, right?
No, it's in my head. I read it already.
Oh, sure. All right. But I feel like I enjoy the fact how you take the notes, because then like if we venture off into some other shit, you're like, oh, wait, look, we're back here.
No, the way it works, I'm glad you said that because my notes for me are to help me, it be in my brain so I can dictate and lead the story. It's not for me to have factual evidence or like to refer back to. So I read my notes and rewrite my notes as a way to have it in my head.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the notes isn't something to refer back to as a fact.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what a note.
In case we do drift off with some shit, I feel like it did help bring us back to like, all right, cool, let's bring it back.
So ask me. I might be able to answer the question to help bring it back. The notes itself on the.
But that's the thing. I at times I will drift off getting into the conversation, vomiting, and I will lose track myself. So you become the anchor point of bringing back the conversation to where we left off before the drift.
Well, that's my point. I got it. Trust the process.
Okay.
I rewrite it for it to be in my head, and then right before our group, whatever, our discussion, I reread.
Would you happen to have one of those like little tables that like you used to have breakfast on or whatever in bed?
Yeah.
You have one of those?
Yeah.
Use that shit.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's moving as we're talking? Oh, all right. I stay still, 'cause I don't have access to it. It's downstairs in storage.
Oh, shit. All right, nice.
I stay still.
All right,
So,
cool.
for the sake of this conversation, I just started a new job. So my routine isn't the same. Normally I have it set up in the living room. Everything's a little organized.
I don't think people give a fuck about whatever. Just
for the lack of integrity of it all, I figured I'd just own it.
That's also just me for like my whole fucking production brain, whatever.
That works.
But my week was chill. Weekend was all right. I recently learned about some fucking bullshit at my job and shit, which luckily hasn't turned into anything. But other than that, I spent a chill weekend. I'm starting to get a better understanding of where I should aim for, which is eating better, working out, buying better clothing, so that I can reflect the what I've been pushing away.
Can you
I've,
get into more detail about right there? That
I haven't been focusing on those things.
gotcha.
I've been going baby steps like with the gym and with the food and stuff like that, but I haven't been focusing on wearing clothing. We're also matching up the fact that I don't really go out for my own, because of my own reasons. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna start focusing on that. I was just on Boohoo, on the website, and they got a half off everything right now. So I'm gonna,
Who,
huh?
well, who has half off right now?
Boohoo man,
Ooh.
I sent it to you.
Mhm.
So they have a half off. I think I'm probably like drop $100 on there, and I got some decent pieces there for $100. Two hoodies. Hold on a second. Two hoodies. What else I got? So here in my car, I have two hoodies. Wait, three shirts, a hoodie. I'm gonna probably add another hoodie, but like two shirts, a hoodie, and one of the zip ups and shit. It's only like $125.
Good shit.
Well, I haven't seen the shipping or whatever, but that's pretty good though.
Cool. Do you remember when we discussed the performance triangle?
Yeah, we also need to make that into an actual graphic.
Yeah, I got it in graphics, but we have to figure out how to put it electronically on the computer screen.
I could do that. That's not a problem.
So I show you my notes, or we discuss it again.
All you have to do is take a picture of it. I'll bring it onto Illustrator, and we have a digital copy of it.
Oh, okay. It's just a triangle with the words anyway.
No, but I'm saying though, so it can look clear, and we don't have that fucking shaky ass like whatever, you know.
Wait, hold up. Let me take this shit off my lap and put it on the bed. Maybe that'll vibrate less.
Gonna help fucking lower your testicular cancer too, buddy.
That'd be a great one because I thought about that. If I had the testicular cancer, you have to like fight it and
So
spend all.
imagine the fact that they tell you not to put your phone towards your ear, right? Because it's fucking basically cooking your brain because of the radiation that is being sent through the wireless signal, right? So now imagine a device that is 5 times the size of your phone, right? Which is definitely using Wi-Fi right now. It's cooking whatever the fuck is around there. Well, at least sending the a certain amount of radiation where potentially it could be doing some shit. You know what blows my mind when I see delivery drivers like this with the helmet and like the phone like this, just driving around like talking to
I
Ecuador or
didn't know.
whatever the fuck.
I didn't know they did. They said not to put the phone to your ear. I didn't know they said that.
No, you don't want to do that. I mean, from what I'm seeing online, etc., I haven't done my own homework on the subject, but I do understand that there are fucking like 5G signal does emit radiation. It may be a small amount of it, but yeah, you
Makes
know,
makes sense.
people don't be like, oh, whatever. But hey, listen, I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm gonna, and again, I feel like it somewhat makes sense in my brain, and I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that.
Hmm.
But I don't think these are helping either. And I'm very
Really?
comfortable with these though, because these are also emitting a signal too, which is causing, all that shit too. Awesome, good shit.
Yeah, I'd rather not know and just
Soon we're
be
just gonna have the fucking the bolt the fucking the shit the Elon Musk the Neuralink,
the chip.
and we won't need these shits anymore. This will go away. This will disappear.
That's the goal. Not in our lifetime, but that's the goal.
Well, and maybe no,
Well, you won't be alive for that shit.
bruh. They are talking about 7 year span. I hope so. I'll be here for the next 10, 15 years, hopefully 20, right? And if that's the case, I fucking feel certain that that shit will be here.
Nah.
I will say in the next 10 years, that shit will be a thing. Or at least a choice. But then it's like you become fucking bionic person. And
Yeah, we
now if
already
you're
started
able to
that.
move faster, you'll then also get more jobs. You'll perform faster at doing regular tasks that the other people take for granted right now or whatever. And I like watching that video that I sent you. And knowing what I know about AI and how the robotics industry is moving and how they're pushing towards trying to get one of these Optimus in every home. Right now, the fucking one of them, I mean, China base, and I don't think we're gonna do the whole shit with China because if they put malware in those robots,
We're fucked. Yeah.
then they're basically bringing a fucking army of robots over here. And then at the switch of a button, the motherfuckers could be like, "Yeah, we're about to body your shit, right?"
Mhm.
So that's why they're gonna start building these facilities here in America. Even though the NSA and all these motherfuckers are like on our shit too, because then once you bring these walking like Alexa with legs and shit in your crib, even though they're gonna be very helpful, because let's say while I'm doing this, it's like, listen, if it could wash the dishes for me and fucking pick up my laundry and all that shit, nigga, what? Sign me up right now.
It
And
probably.
they're only running for like the cost right now is 16 bands.
Wow.
And then when you implement them into then creating their own, like, their other robots, the cost of labor goes down a shitload. So if it's at 16K right now because a machine is helping assigned with a person or whatever, but then it's like full robotics being done to make other robots, I'm sure that's just gonna go down like a motherfucker. Let's say like 8 grand or whatever. You know what
Wouldn't
I'm
that
saying?
ruin a lot of shit about life?
What's that?
Wouldn't that ruin a lot of shit about life?
What do you mean? Ruin how?
Why am I go to college? If you could spend $8,000 to have something that went to college for me, like knows all the information
Okay,
for
see
me.
that those are what you're referring to is like cognitive things, like learning how to be. You're referring to like smarter, knowledge based, artificial intelligence.
Right,
I'm referring to like a machinery that can do tasks for me.
right.
I'm not referring to like it's gonna fucking tap in and be like and fucking
I thought
tell
it
me
could learn.
the meaning of
Yeah.
the universe.
Well, when we're talking about the chips, it basically knows and picks up where we left off. So I'm assuming it'll just take whatever smart and make it smarter, stronger, better. That kind of
But
escape.
again, it depends. It depends on. All right, so what you're referring to is like the Bugatti of robots, where it's gonna be able to do tasks and it's super fucking smart. I'm sure that the basic shit that people are gonna get is just gonna be able to do basic stuff, and it's not gonna have all the smarts.
Yeah, but if it's an option, the fact that some of them have that option is the same argument. Just whoever can afford it, it cancels out the need for
I
higher.
mean, in a sense, college is an option now too. You don't have to fucking go to college. If you really do your homework on shit, you can be fucking listen, if you hang out around a bunch of fucking therapists, mind you, you haven't gone to college, but you know everything they know, right? And then you use social media to then back that up, you are now a fucking therapist and you never went to fucking school for this shit.
I mean, that's kind of what's happening. Shit. My new job is interesting. There's a shortage of social workers, doctors, and nurses, and they're hiring us to bring that field into more population while also having AI learn the same exact thing as doctors, nurses, and
That's all
psychotherapists.
coming. That's all coming. The workforce is going to then shift towards them, because they're gonna be able to do the shit better. They're not gonna fucking ask for breaks. The only break that they're gonna ask for is like when they gotta charge up for 4 hours and then they have a 12-hour run battery. Because that was another thing I was thinking about. Is like, how are they gonna fucking the power these robots? And then the power usage depends on how far and how hard you drop the robot, right? So if it's doing some like super mundane tasks like washing dishes, it could probably run for like 18 hours. But if it's like lifting up heavy objects or whatever, it's gonna cause it to consume more power, which then it has to charge more frequently, right? So that's what I was thinking about. And that's another thing too that we have to think about is the fact that we're gonna have to create giant fucking power plants to run this massive AI that we're working on. And my question is like, who's gonna make them? They're building them in Texas right now, but I feel like that's gonna have to scatter all over the fucking America.
Is it going to affect everyone on a level that requires us all to care about the same topic, which is this AI world?
I feel like, but see, we're talking on a hypothetical, so I genuinely know and feel that no one's going to stop. No one's going to press pause on this shit. And if you say that, there's probably a team of motherfuckers in the back room still going, because this is a race to who's going to get to AGI. And then from AGI, it's going to be SSI, super general intelligence, or super aligned intelligence. Well, nigga, the shit is going to leave us fucking behind, where it's like, and it just is all hypothetical. It's like, where can the fucking droplet of water fall? Is it going to fall here, there? Like, where is it going to fall? And what I was watching the video earlier, what you were saying, I mean, what the video about dating and how everything's going on, these motherfuckers are like, dude, I check this phone all the time, right? Now, what is it stopping this phone from then turning into now a robot that is also going to require some sort of payment? For doing a task is either going to ask for some data or electricity. That is going to be their form of payment. The shift of money will change because they're not going to fucking work for free. They're not going to work for free.
Why? They're not they. That now you're going to get real specific about the definition of they.
Even fucking Bitcoin, for you to make to have Bitcoin exist, you need miners. They don't work for free.
Right? Free? There's no fee. You just have to keep them up.
You are the one paying for the fee, so they're technically you're feeding them. You are feeding them, right? You're feeding them. You're the one doing the task of making sure that the lights stay on. But now, when they get smart enough and they're able to do tasks, then they take on a world where they're how do I create abundance within myself? Like, you know, how do I get paid? What if I have this super smart ass robot or whatever? Again, there's going to be some sort of currency between them.
Yeah,
there's got to be an exchange with everything in life that happens.
Yeah, but
it doesn't just become one like unless there is unless there is one main system that runs everything, then I could understand where they wouldn't pay each other. But we're going to a future where there's going to be hundreds and thousands of different AIs.
Yeah, but I can't see human beings losing and passing the baton of power over, where capitalism is now a competitive thing with something we created. I don't see that as happening. It's possible, probably. It makes sense, but I just don't see it as a possibility. It's stupid.
Social media has now trumped over you having to go to fucking school and become this whatever.
Yeah,
if you are now enough knowledge base on the topic or whatever it may be, you are now an expert in that field. You might not have the credentials from the school, etc., or whatever, but you know the fucking knowledge. And then look at that. Social media had a fucking impact on us that like school almost became irrelevant. So what is stopping us from then shifting the power to then having this robot? And then also too, if I don't have to fucking work, then again, there's gonna be some sort of trade-off. I don't know what the specific is.
A lot of trade-off.
There's gonna be a trade-off.
But again, we won't be alive. We'll be dead. So this is just.
I feel like we want to create that scenario in our brains because it sounds safe and it sounds like, oh, it's not gonna bother me. Da, da, da. But I think we're fucking wrong.
I'm sure you're right, but I can't give a fuck because I'm busy with prioritizing my life. That's not up there with being able to rent out mental real estate on a topic that affects me, but hasn't been a priority of mine where I'm able to wrap my brain around it the same way.
And that's where a lot of people are going to fail. No one's like giving a fuck about this shit enough to like do their homework on their own terms and find out how this thing works, etc., etc. People are just going about their lives, and that's cute and that's awesome, right? But there is a fucking tsunami coming towards us that it's going to hit everybody. This is not some shit where it's like, oh, maybe. The only thing that is going to stop this is if fucking Taiwan gets destroyed off the fucking face of the earth.
Which is
what is it? STMC or SMNC or some shit? I forgot the name of the company, but it's a Taiwan-based company, and they are the ones that are leading the fucking way right now. The only thing is that their work ethic is so fucking like is so gangster that these motherfuckers have left everybody behind by 10 years, or is it 4? But yeah, they're running and nobody can catch up to them. Sam Altman and all these, huh?
Where did you get interested in this? Just because of your social media relationship?
I got interested into the AI field because I don't. I definitely once I first like learned about it and I saw this video, I started to like hyperventilate. Like I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then I was like, nobody's talking about this shit. Another thing too is like you see this shit in movies all the time, and now it's reality.
Mm,
We are working towards that.
mm.
We fucking unlocked. We made the magical box. We've made it. And that was the component that was missing to make all these self-driving cars, robotics, a fucking thing. So now that the self-driving fucking floating cars are now a massive possibility now. It wasn't before. We were just like, fucking shit up and be like, oh, whatever. But now with these models now and the way that they work,
It's not consistent enough to do it yet.
yet, yet,
Even driverless cars, it requires the infrastructure to change completely.
yet, it can
Yeah, yeah.
change in 3
Again, not in
years.
our lifetime. Not in our lifetime.
In 3 years, it can change that.
It can change, but that requires a collective organization of effort and
Every motherfucker on the planet that is aware of the capabilities the AI has is pushing that threshold to the fullest. No one is going half speed. Everybody's going push it, push it, push it, push it.
Can't be good though. Something bad's gonna happen. They're using it for military exercises and military weaponry.
When it becomes weaponized is when we are fucked.
That might be soon.
Yo, but right now you got drones that are taking out $500,000 tanks. That their drones only cost 5 bands.
Right. Did you see the new drones that we sent
What is it,
Ukraine?
$50?
The dogs?
The what?
The United States sent Israel dogs.
We sent them dogs?
Yeah, like the AI dogs.
But they're not AI. You're talking about probably the Boston Dynamic dogs. It's called Big Dog.
Whatever, but they're AI intelligence that understand how to navigate. I read the article.
They have, of course, all those robots are gonna have what is it? Image recognizing technology, like being able to like know where the fuck they're going, etc. Just like the Tesla. Same thing. But it doesn't mean that they have an AI in their brain.
I thought they were AI. That's what
No, they're not an AI. They would have to be connected. They would have to have a small model in like installed, a local model to what it's called, right? Because in order for you to have the bigger model, either you have to be physically connected to the motherfucker, right? Or you gotta have a gigantic fucking brain or a compute on your back or some shit for you to house that model. The GPUs right now that are being used for these massive models are about the size of a fucking luggage. Like the carry-on shit or a little bit bigger, that's the size of them. So unless you put that shit on the back of a robot, or we start condensing these things and making them smaller and making the bigger models smaller and more compressed, then no, we're still, they're gonna have certain like abilities, but it's not gonna be like, but then what is AI for a robot then? It's like, what is it gonna fucking know your blood type when it's shooting you away or some shit?
Why would that be helpful?
But again, the only thing is that like, why would you want to put AI in those robots?
The whole article was about the artificial intelligence and the superiority of benefits.
There's a lot of fear mongering going on though too online.
I guess that makes
a
sense.
lot of fucking fear mongering, so people could start reading articles, start getting scared about this shit or whatever, or at least just raise up the topic. It's not a good thing, but it's raising the topic. People are talking about it. Are enough people talking about it? Fuck no. But I mean, look at me. I'm trying to work on fucking building agents and all that shit. Automation is going up. Everything automation is not stopping, dog. Like
that makes sense for me to focus on the automation of it all. To focus on the rest of the stuff is not even within my lifespan. I know it's important and all that, but I don't really.
You keep saying that lifespan shit. I'm so fucking happy that we're recording this shit, because in the next couple of years, when this shit happens, you're gonna be like, I thought I was.
I'm telling you directly, I don't give a fuck because I have to focus on the stuff that I chose to give a fuck about a long time ago. This is a great topic, and I'm sure it's really, really, really important, but I can't put it up there in the level of importance that it needs to have because I'm focused on the regular shit that's in my life. So I'm telling you to ease myself. I doubt that it'll be in my lifetime. So all the shit that you find important, the shit that I find, I get it, But if it doesn't help me in this moment eat better, live better, or just be happier, I can't really spend the effort to give a fuck. It's kind of like politics.
What if we got good at doing the virtual agents, right? And every fucking agent pays you out 2 bands.
Awesome.
Dude, that is life-changing money right there.
I didn't say that sarcastically. I said awesome. Like I'd
No,
retire.
no. I'm not saying that you did. What the fuck? I didn't assume that shit. What the?
My fault.
No. So I'm like, if I was to unlock that,
But through automation, that makes sense to focus on that as a subject.
bro, if I could get fucking deals for 20 bands, 10 bands, which is a small fucking margin, because if you're paying somebody $35,000, which is the base, like the super like low whatever, right? Like you can't really live in New York off of 35 grand a year. And if you are, you probably like, I don't know, you eat cup of noodle soup every fucking day and you
No
live
fun.
in a closet.
Yeah.
Or you live in like Carajo land, like right by fucking Long Island or some shit, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that if I can build you a program that can then take away half of that price point, it's a no-brainer.
I agree.
People themselves might feel a little bit like, oh, this is foreign. But then when you see the performance it is going to give you, it's going to be like, oh, shit, I got to fuck with this. Damn. I got homie up the block calling everybody named mother, and he's successful, and he's only a one-person army. Yet you got fucking 10 fucking workers here just fucking shit up.
How close are you to coming to reality with that?
Of what?
The automation shit that you want to sell to people.
I can already fucking make demos. I can already make demos. Now we're just finding people who actually have the capital and want to fucking do it.
What niche community? What niche business?
It determines first, like, where are they getting their volume from, right? Is it from Instagram? Is it from emails? Or is it phone calls? A lot of it comes from Instagram. Then,
What's it? A lot of it comes from Instagram. What?
Leads.
Oh, people. Gotcha.
Yes. So a lot of it comes from Instagram, emails, then phone calls. Phone calls have withered away. Unless you're a business that is almost still in the past in a way, that doesn't have an app or a website, you're still getting phone calls. But most businesses that have an Instagram or website, their traffic is going towards there. Because then also too, when you create a website, you have all the fucking information that you would need. You don't have to call me. But for example, like us, right? At my job, we have people calling us up and telling us like, this motherfucker. We have people calling us up and asking us like, hey, I need a driver or whatever, blah, blah. That could be automated. So then the fucking agent picks that up and the office person could still just keep fucking doing the spreadsheet that they were working on. As opposed to like having to stop. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I called yesterday, blah, 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 blah. And then now you got to get into this fucking bullshit with this person. And then maybe the person is going to then, you don't have to sit here and like, just deal with their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? The AI can like take care of that in a very nice and subtle way. We're like, hey, sorry, I can't help you right now, but please call us back or whatever. They could go and be like, but the AI is not going to like get emotional and be like, sir, you got to stop doing that. It's just going to be like, all right, cool. Have a nice day. And just bang it on them.
So let me ask you a question that might seem like a little left field. Normally, people get really good at topics because of their social circles. They're like, it's something you talk about, it's something people have a common interest, whatever. How did you get into something that doesn't seem to have social reality as a truth? What made you get into that topic that's not something you can go to a bar and discuss? You know what I mean? Like, how did you get interested in that?
I have no fucking clue. Again,
No,
I started
it's mad
hyperventilating.
interesting. No, for me, it's mad interesting, but you did the work to like understand more detail than the average person.
I know this is the future. And I want to say honestly, I know this is the future, and there's nothing gonna stop this shit.
Yeah, but what does it do to take you out the moment since it's the future? So like if you go to the gym and you're chilling with somebody and they're talking about something that either doesn't interest you or y'all don't have nothing to talk about. So you're going to pull out this stuff that's interesting to you, which is in the future, and they're probably going to think about something else, or you're going to have a hard time enrolling them in the conversation. How do you use that to your advantage? Because most of the time people are interested in shit that helps them in their social world.
I don't I guess that only works if it taps into people's curiosity.
That only what's that? Oh, the thing that you're interested in?
Topic, yeah, the topic. If it doesn't tap into curiosity and you care less of, you have no clue or give a fuck about it, then it's like, shut the fuck up with that. Can we talk about something else? Let's talk
Oh,
about
that's possible.
fucking,
That's possible.
huh?
Socially, that's possible. So if somebody brings up a topic that you're not interested in, you can say shut the fuck up, bring up something else.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna be saying shut the fuck up, but you're probably like, all right, and just kind
Does
of
that
like
make it
gesture it off,
complicated?
like, huh?
Does that add another layer of difficulty with meeting people?
Uh, I mean, I could talk about regular bullshit. That's not a problem.
Is there something else that you're interested in besides the future and the chaos that stupid people are putting the world through?
I mean, you already know the topics that I'm into, which is cultivation. I'm doing the stuff with the plastics and stuff, so understanding that, like, that's another thing too. I'm like, I'm about to fucking spend 120 something dollars on this clothing, but ultimately, with doing homework or understanding how things are fucking working around the planet, I'm putting 120 something dollars to poison. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did it to this too. I just bought fucking Dominoes when I could have just made some meat myself or whatever, but then everything around us is slowly just like either making us sterile. It's crazy how fucking the clothing hasn't given us cancer. We're just bugged out. But
Oh, wait. That's my point. Just to steer the conversation to
I'm
have.
sorry, my bad. I drifted off.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But that's exactly my point. Like, I'm focused on improving my personality, my health, my that takes a lot of mental energy. I really don't give a fuck about AI as a topic that I'm going to invest my time in because it doesn't improve anything about. For you, it makes sense because you have a way to like eat off it now. So like if you can automate this and sell it to an organization, that makes sense. So now my question to you is, how do you find like-minded individuals so that that thinking of yours can be neutral, like beneficial to your social circle?
I feel like the only way is by joining those circles, talking to people who are like Discord is a good place, forums, places like that, going to conventions,
But non-social,
etc.,
right,
talking to
non-social.
those people.
The convention was social, but you said whatever app that was.
I
That
mean, Discord isn't social because it's on a server, you know, it's like you're
right.
talking to people, it is chatting or whatever, but it's some sort of socializing to an extent, you know. Now, it's definitely if you include some kind of video, whatever, you're also socializing as well, too, to an extent, you know what I mean? Like, not that physical, like, hey, I'm there and I gotta, like, we don't have a fucking screen, I can just be like, bye, you know, like, I'm more like pressured or forced to have to sit there and just like fucking be a human being and not act weird and shit.
You just reminded me of that show Big Bang Theory.
What about it?
They have they're bright, they're smart scientists that have a similar philosophy of the future and how everybody else is stupid and they're gonna crash and burn. But is there a way you can benefit the way it's benefited them, where their little idiosyncrasies and their quirks they're annoying, but they're amongst their peers. So it's not like isolatingly annoying. You understand what I'm saying?
What
Like,
I'm trying to do is I'm trying to learn this and then convert it into a hood mentality
right.
or
I see that. Right.
into you know, like explain it to me like a 5 year, right? So I'm learning it so that I can then use my upbringing to then better translate that to you who doesn't know shit about it, and you might not be so capable. I mean, there's a lot of things that we just want other people to do or whatever, but you might not be so savvy to find out about it or whatever. But again, just like with dating, right? I might not be a dating expert, but I know a shitload about it because I've been single and I've been trying to date and whatever, whatever. So I can then try to convert that into making it making it sound understandable to somebody who hasn't done it or is trying to find out about it.
But I get it. I get it. Makes sense.
Like if you're a crackhead, right? People are gonna be like, "Oh, you're a drug addict, whatever, whatever." But you're an observational scientist, like I had said. You might not be a fucking PhD, but you know a shitload about crack.
I'm I'm
Maybe
I'm
not at a molecular level and everything like that, or compounds, but you never know.
I'm holding asking you a bunch of questions that are more relevant to you because we got 2 minutes and 55 seconds before we have to go to the other one, and I want to start a conversation.
Okay.
So remind me to ask you questions relevant to the
This is why
conversation.
you taking the notes is such a fucking key thing.
I'm not really asking you to remind me if you let me finish the fucking thought. What I'm saying to you, if you listen and slow the fuck down, is this basically saying in the second half of this conversation, I'm gonna ask you more personal questions relevant to the conversation we've already had.
But I
So
don't
I'm
think.
saying it. Please remind me when we get back, so that we're both on the same page. Not for you to yell at me, okay?
But you'll let me either. Thank you. I
I
appreciate you.
didn't yell at you. I was stirring and fighting through it.
I see the sweat beads like
Not at
coming
all.
on and
I
shit.
don't sweat
Like,
when I argue. I
all
froth, but I don't sweat.
right, cool. So then I guess I'll end this one, and hopefully I can start the other one. If not, I'm just gonna fucking start a new link and I'll email it to you.
Why wouldn't we start the other one? The one that I went to at first. Isn't
Because it's still, I don't know. I mean, hopefully it lets me go jump on, but whatever. I'm just gonna end this one.
all right.
All right, bet.
How'd you do that? My calendar was open. It had both the links to the different times during Zoom. I didn't have it open before.
No, I didn't do that. That's supposed to do that shit automatically through your thing.
Shit, it did it.
I have no control over that. Motherfucking fly.
Dude, those microphones that are like on your shirt, should I get one?
That would help a lot, so that this way you could move around and shit.
All right, I'm gonna get that.
I mean, ideally, what would be fucking dope is if you got a setup like this, that this way you got your mic, you got a plug and play scenario. The mics are really good if, like, let's say we're going off somewhere or whatever. Like, I will, now that we've gotten into this podcast, it's almost kind of like a fucking boyfriend and girlfriend kind of bullshit or whatever, or besties or whatever you want to call it. Because then I genuinely feel like us sharing the shit that we do, like hopefully we go hiking, whatever. We could use that also on a mental scenario, like, we could do the microdosing, etc., and start documenting these things so that we can then the mics would come out perfectly in those scenarios, because then we can prop the fucking whatever camera, and we could be talking far away from the camera. We don't have to be like up close, etc., like, or just off-site scenarios.
Okay, good shit. So,
but the certain mics, like the DJI ones, they're not cheap. They're fucking expensive.
oh,
But they're good mics. They're good mics.
that's the one I was talking about. That's like clipped here. I see.
Yeah, the DJI ones, they're good mics, but they're not cheap though. They're like almost $200.
All right. So now I want to ask you questions based on all the questions that I've asked you in the past and ways to make improvement. I saw that you were eating Domino's. What made you be inconsistent about the quality of food you were making for yourself?
Because I still gotta wait for the ground meat and the steak to freeze so that I can purchase something. Also, I didn't have money on my card so that I can order something else. And then also fucking Uber is a bitch. And I didn't want to go down to the spot down the block, because I didn't want to go over there right now. So I just made the executive decision. I was like, let me get a fucking little personal pie and shit, and let me fucking just do that.
Cool. And there's nothing wrong with any of the things you just did.
It sounds like you're telling me something's wrong.
Right. But in the sake of remembering the performance triangle and whatever failure from the past came
I
up.
don't remember the performance triangle.
Yeah, you will in this conversation if it meant anything. So if it didn't mean anything, it will once I bring up these examples. So in order for, huh?
I said, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So in order for you to relearn integrity, I want to figure out what made it okay to let go of having integrity. You started out at first giving me reasons that you couldn't. And then the ending one was simply, I didn't want to go over there. So it's okay to make that cool. How can I support you hold yourself to that same passionate standard that you would those types of conversations, or as you would anybody outside of yourself, since I'm trying to coach and support my friend, not have or not lose integrity over things that are important to him. Lose integrity over things that are important to me. Lose integrity over something that's important to somebody else. Not stuff that's important to you.
I mean, ultimately, I feel like you can't do too much unless you fucking live here with me. You're with me 24 fucking 7, and you're constantly reminding me of like, no, stop, get out of here. Like,
I'm glad you said that, because this doesn't require reminders. This requires a simple conversation that will shift the programming. So what made you not number one priority? And how could you possibly ask for someone else to be in your life that makes you number one priority if you're not an example of that? So that's one. And based on all the things that you're passionately hurting from, this might be an important ingredient that would be helpful for you to have in your life so that when you do meet somebody, they're second to make you feel right and hold you accountable and blah, blah, blah. Not giving all that importance.
So referencing back that video that
Yeah.
I sent it to you, it's just so many compounding things. Like I am starting to get to a place where I'm starting to understand better my value, my worth. I know I'm a very people loving person, and I know people naturally gravitate towards me. That's also one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. Um, but there's so many shaping compounds to that it's just like it's a difficult road for me. And then now is like where I'm really starting to like tell myself like, yo, let's come up with a better plan on how to get to where we want to go. And if we follow this plan, we will achieve that.
I don't know what the fuck you just said. I heard that was well said though. Fucking impressive excuses.
What the fuck are
Impressive.
you talking about?
That shit is impressive. The amount of wit
Uh,
you use.
again,
Wait. I'm gonna reword the question. How I don't want to help you. That's why I don't want to help you. And that's why help is never gonna work for any human being. Because my question simply was, how can I be of assistance to holding you accountable
but I
to
had
your
given you the
integrity?
answer. I had given you the answer, and then you followed it up with
Fucking shit.
followed it up. No. You followed it up with saying, "How is it that you then need to put yourself first so that you don't go and do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
again?"
yeah. Yeah, I'm hitting you in the head and I'm hitting you in the heart. Because intellectually you're there and you were willing to debate almost any topic that's intellectually satisfying to you. But when we go down to a deeper level that's satisfying the viewers, satisfying to me, to somebody that cares for you, satisfying to anybody else, you don't give a fuck. So it's hard to give a fuck alone. For example, you came over and I made it a thing to say no to every single thing you offered me,
Okay.
including wifey. You want some steak? Nah, we good. You want some? Nah, we good. The reason for it is because I noticed you like to share newness, and if it's not received, you're like, then why do it? I don't like this shit anyway. It's too much effort. So I wanted to play with my little experiment and fuck with you. Where
Mm-hmm.
you're when I like to learn new things, I want to teach it to everybody. And when they don't want to learn, I make that mean something. And then it makes learning it harder for me. Me. So
Okay.
like maybe there's a similarity. So you brought all this food. You brought a 10-course fucking meal. People don't eat like that, but you did that day. Wonderful Tupperware, presented wonderfully. We didn't have none of it. The steak looked good and I wanted some, but I had a mental memory of like, nah, don't share shit that's new to him. Okay? How did that feel not to be shared with? Not to let you share with me? Because I would have made the food taste whack to me.
Wait, say that last part.
How did it feel, or for me, how did it make it taste that you didn't get to share the food you were mad proud to have?
I'm kind of used to the fucking with me scenario.
No, you're not, because you didn't notice it. That one you didn't notice.
What? Yes, sir. What do you
You
mean?
noticed that we said no and I'm fucking with you? Or you just thought we said no and like happened to get fucked with?
No. I didn't think you were fucking with me. I didn't think it
Right,
was like premeditated. But
right.
in a way, like it's like jokingly, like being sarcastic or passive aggressive.
Nah, if I offer you food that's a big deal for me to get, nigga, and you don't, sorry, I don't want to say that word. But if I offer you food and it's a big deal to me and you don't take it, I hate that food. You gonna tell me none of that resonated with you? Like, this is still great because you got a pizza box today, but a couple of days ago, you had a 10-course meal.
Nigga, well, I had potatoes, chicken, and steak,
Nigga, you had steak,
and
chicken,
fries, which I threw
that's
away,
two
but whatever.
separate meals. I'm exaggerating the quality of food.
Uh-huh.
I like the proudness that you had this food, but then a day or two later, you're doing the opposite of what you said you wanted. I'm not making you wrong. I'm reminding you of what you said you wanted. So in eating better, what made it okay to give up eating better goal? I'm not making you wrong and you don't have to explain shit. I ain't nobody. But I'm curious to know what made it okay from the fucking 10-star meal you had. I'm teasing that. But from that standard that you was excited and proud of yourself, and then the next day.
Back to what I had mentioned. The meat is still frozen.
They're
I
like,
didn't take it out on time, right?
yeah,
I could have made some fucking eggs or some shit, but I decided to go and
buy pizza.
yeah.
And nothing's wrong with that. I just would like you to notice how difficult it is to make changes because it's okay for the sometimes. But I need to get you to a place where you're communicating with it is not okay for the sometimes so that you can do the hard work on days that it's not easy so that when it's easy, it's even better. So I apologize for the bitching and moaning.
Oh no, it's fine, it's fine.
The next step, okay. Why did you leave this house without the book you were supposed to get?
Because I forgot.
Cool.
Matt came through. We were thinking about other shit, and I wasn't thinking about it.
So for our sake, the listening of me has to be the same level of integrity.
Were
So
you fucking testing me and you didn't tell me about the book because
shut up and listen. You said
that would have been some real asshole shit.
we're working on your performance. I mean, your performance triangle. I didn't test you, but as somebody that you opened the door to a conversation about integrity. What makes me want to grow and become a better person is in having integrity in places that I didn't notice was weak. That's what helped me get to where I'm at. When I couldn't read and went to college and had to learn to read while in class reading, like you have to hold yourself to a certain standard in order for you to make it through the shit you didn't know you can make it through.
Okay.
So now that this ain't life or death, nigga, how can I possibly trust you as my mans when you shit on you? So you said to me, your mans, and you, your mans, you, your own mans, I'm gonna hold myself better to food. And then I'm why so you didn't do but I'm doing so I can't be more important than you. So now I have to lessen myself for how you treat yourself, and then it makes things weird.
Um,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it definitely
So
sparked. No. It definitely sparked in my mind where it's like, if you can't hold yourself accountable or not accountable, but if you can't hold yourself to a higher standard, then how do I expect you to then do the same for me?
right. So you make it either easy for me to be whack because we're gonna have whack days, or I'm gonna make it hard for us to welcome back those whack days. I don't know who's gonna win, but you got more to offer.
Wait, I got more to offer? What?
Yeah, you got more to offer.
Okay. But yeah, definitely resonating in me where I mean I'm learning. But I guess
You're
that's
doing
an excuse
fine.
too. I guess that's an
You're doing
excuse too.
fine. This is not about learning. This is different from learning because you can know all the information in the world and still do these patterns. This is not learning like a subject. This is learning like an application. It's kind of like your AI passion. Your AI passion is intense, but what you don't live that reality to have that be your reality to give a fuck to the point where you're judging other people for not giving a fuck when you don't give a fuck about your own word, which is I want to eat better. So don't tell me about AI for the next 3 weeks since you didn't tell me about food for the last week. And that's all love.
Is that literal?
What?
The
Yeah,
don't talk
three
about it?
weeks. It could get to that place if you need that inner child of yours, some parenting. That's where it's gonna go. I'm giving you like baby bait, like I'm leading a trail of some sort, where I'm like telling you in advance the adult in you is gonna get challenged with this childlike behavior. So when I do it, you're not gonna even waste time saying, "You serious?" Yeah. And I'm only being the adult to that inner kid as an adult. So first I have to like introduce it so that the kid is like, relax, he's safe. It's not a big deal. And then when the adult is like, yeah, I'm punished. I'm not gonna mention shit. Because what will happen without you asking that question is you won't say shit around me because you knew I saw something whack. And vice versa. Does that make sense?
I feel like me knowing about it.
Oh, this ain't it. I got a whole bunch of weird shit, bro. My weird shit makes me better. And I learned it from other weird motherfuckers who are really holding the world with. I don't trust a soul, but I need you to know that if I'm drinking a Coca-Cola, I'm miserable in my life. So you need to give a fuck or me know that I'm gonna hate your guts because you didn't notice. It's dumb in my world, or it's not. If I can get other people to see the same thing I did, that's just something I've learned over the years to keep me accountable and as best as I could be. So like I'm holding you accountable to think it's okay at a pizza box, nigga. I'm never gonna trust you if you don't trust you. And my life is important in the sense of please let it be important. Not that it is. I just want it to be important for somebody, nigga. So like, nigga, be important. Stop saying the fucking word. Ew. Ew. All right. Second part is eating better. Third part, the second question I wanted to ask is, you were supposed to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So since I see where this might be going, because you're perfectly still, I would like to play a game. I get free haircuts every week when your integrity is garbage 2 or more times in our conversation.
2 or more. Wait, say it again.
I get free haircuts every week.
Mm-hmm. 2 or more times. So if I
In one
screwed
1
up,
hour session, in 1 hour conversation that you are having with me with cameras, lights, and action on, if integrity is not 100%, 2 or more times, nothing's wrong. We just look and know I got a cut see this week for gratis.
but what are those circumstances? Like what? Not going to the gym twice?
No, whenever we're talking and I happen to ask you a question and you give me an answer, the next week, integrity, I might pick last week.
I don't get it then. I'm confused.
Nigga, I remember
Give me a simple example so that I can understand what triggers it.
No, I'm telling you, every one of our conversations, I have the same memory as when you saw me take notes. You respected me way more when I took notes, when I'm better without taking notes. Let that sink in. I need you to, so I'm willing to play the game and show you notes for you to go, yeah, do that again. Because I know you like that. I'm going to give you what you like and then reward me for it. The only thing I want for you is the integrity. So, because I remember conversations from the first time we've ever spoken, before we had this podcast, before all that, if you said something and you don't live it, oh, we don't do that no more. You're gonna go, yes. I just decided not. The fact that you know you didn't have integrity got me a free haircut. If it's a genuine lesson and you're like, no, nigga, that's the same thing, I'm fine with that. But if you're telling me, yeah, I just chose to eat the bullet and buy pizza, I don't know, I don't give a fuck, bitch, yes, I do care. That's what the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you sold it knowing it was whack.
Okay.
2 of those gets me a free gratis. Don't Zeke me. I don't want no fucking lines. I want your best work. But 2 or more in one session gets me a free cut. No, yeah. Feel free to negotiate.
So then that means there's 2 failures. Is what you're saying?
No. With every request I make, you're allowed to have a counter offer. You're not allowed for yes. You're not allowed for no. So it's either yes or a counter offer. Wait, just listen. In this conversation for the hour a week, I'm allowed to have every request I make just be a yes or a counter offer. You don't have an option for a no. Good?
Okay.
Cool. What was your question?
I'm trying to round down what the triggers are to then
when your word is garbage 2 times.
So basically, by keeping my word is, so if I utter something right and I don't follow along with that, then I get penalized.
You're not getting penalized.
Well, it is in a sense.
No, you're getting a consequence.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, because loving your wife and having a great relationship, the consequence of loving your wife is a wonderful consequence. The consequence isn't negative. Just because you commit a crime and you go to jail, that's not the only consequence. If you go to school and get a degree and get a great job, the consequence.
Okay, all right.
Well, my fault, you have a negative connotation to the word consequence.
Sorry.
But no, that's important to understand, because cognitive behavior therapy says if you can manipulate the way you define things, it manipulates the way you change things. Remember I told you that story?
Then we have 2 different fucking worlds if we have different definitions for everything.
Yes. That's how they and them are 2 different groups. Yes, that's the point. So when you have, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Because the yes threw me off. That was good.
I remember all the conversations, everything.
To get back to so since I remember you, no, that's good. Since I hold you accountable to being a person that I hope you treat me like, because I want you to treat me the way I'm hopefully treating you. I'm not selfish. I'm not being selfless. I'm trying to create another myself, right?
Okay.
So in us being able to work this shit out, for right now, I'm scared to talk to you. Because you're not me and we don't have years of experience where I'm telling you to shut the fuck up because you know that's for the right reasons. You shut the fuck up. So I'm scared and I don't know how to be a regular person. Neither do you. So I gave up being a regular person. Now I just have to explain a lot of shit because you like to understand from all angles. 2 times you don't have integrity gets me a free haircut. Yes or no?
Yeah, sure. Once I get the hang of it, then I'll fucking tighten it up or some shit, or
You're
make
allowed
it
to
impossible.
negotiate. You're allowed to have a counter offer. You're allowed to say, I
I
need
get
some
that I'm
time.
not allowed to say no. I get that. But
Yeah,
now,
so
all right, so it's either yes, so what? Basically, like, hey, what did you eat this week? Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And then I ate this bullshit.
the
So
fuck
that's
up.
one
Shut the fuck up.
strike.
No. This example, yes. But next week I'm not gonna talk about your food. I don't care.
Well, I get that. Like
Oh, okay. I
that
didn't
would
want you
be
to think that
fucking
every time
obvious.
I didn't want you to think that every time I ask you about your eating, you're like, haha,
Oh,
integrity.
that's gonna be obvious. It's gonna have to be
Yeah.
something else that I didn't follow up on my on what I uttered.
Yeah, it might be your dress whack, and I'm like, nigga, I thought you like dressing nice. Yeah, that's
Okay,
good,
okay, okay,
bitch.
okay, okay.
It might be whatever the fuck you say is dope about you that day. Why are we not doing it more? What's the problem? Like you said, you went to the gym, had a good time. You didn't go to the gym? Oh no, why not? You're gonna hear my tone as we get along with each other and move on. You're gonna be like, oh shit, this nigga, and you have to keep going with the conversation and
Oh,
answering the questions. Like, yeah, I was, because by mistake, you're gonna really invest in the excuses. It's kind of like when you play Two Truths and a Lie. You ever played that game before? Psychologically, you can't tell somebody you care about a lie on purpose. You tell on yourself.
oh, I get that. Where you're like saying, yeah, so I lost the money. And
Right.
then
You
it's like
can't
you're
do it on
mad.
purpose where you're
It's
believable.
not like you came in and you were like, oh shit, I got robbed. And then you got like a ripped shirt and you fucking went to
Right.
the extra mile of like,
Punching yourself in the face so you can
yeah,
believe
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You're
Be like,
wrong.
oh,
Right, right.
believable.
This is,
Fuck.
you can't stop it at first. So in replaying this game, trying to get you without making yourself wrong, it's just the consequence to not have integrity. The consequence, you can still live the same life you have. The consequence is that nothing changes. The consequence can be the same thing that it was before we had this conversation. I'm just trying to play this game in your life where you're listening to yourself talk and it changes the way you decide. So if I happen to have the same way of listening and we can at least trust each other that my whackest, my man's is around and I'm good. My wife is around, so I'm good. Like, it's important to have the right people around. Since you've been isolated for so long, any company is in good company.
I got that.
So keeping yourself company might be the best thing to do. Might be to, you might need to learn how to keep yourself company while you're learning how to be company to people. So anyway, what's up with the gym? Did you go? Did you get diesel?
No, I'm going to the gym in a few.
I didn't go to the gym this week. Like last week, I was a big fat sack of shit
Nice.
because it was my wife's birthday. So I was like, it's her birthday. I can't go. It's her birthday this
Sound
week.
like excuses, buddy.
It definitely was. But you're not qualified yet to throw it in my face. Don't try to do that. That was good though.
But
Both of
that's
us will
what.
get in trouble. No, bitch. I don't have enough. I
Well,
can't
it's the
get.
truth though. What the fuck? I gotta hold you accountable too.
I gotta tell him myself so I can hold myself accountable.
There you
Exactly.
go. Good job.
Yeah. So now I gotta figure out a way to do it in the morning. So you asked me about my job. My job is really interesting. Real quick, just to make it about me because I want a little bit of me time. It's a fucking interesting job that I have to get doctors, nurses, and social workers back into the workforce. There's not enough of us. I didn't know that. So they hired me, and I just hired 8 people. I didn't just, but they hired 8 people for me to get people to want to improve in the medical field. I didn't know that we was at a shortage. That fucked me up. That's not a big deal to you?
I mean, I'm still looking at automation. Still thinking
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
AI
yeah.
shit.
But what's interesting to me is not interesting to you. And it's fucking right now is tomorrow's health.
No, no, no. But I'm thinking it is all right. So the fact that all right, cool. The lack of workers, right? But then when the automation kicks in, that's gonna go away.
Maybe, maybe not. That's what you say. And I hear you. That sounds good down the line. But you're right. And I'm sure you're right. But let's say it takes 10 years. Let's say it takes 5 years. Let's say it takes 15 years. I still have to fund and support the workforce for those 10, 15, 5, 2, 1 year. I hear you, but my responsibility is a little bit more specific than giving a fuck about the inevitable.
But then isn't that very close-minded in a sense? Because you're still like just moving at a threshold where you
Is
can
it
only see tomorrow and not 5 years from now.
is it closed minded or pigeonholed? So I can see what I need to see to be able to eat on a day-to-day basis. Because a long time ago I chose psychology to be a professional choice.
Yeah, but then let's say you're looking at pigeonholed, right? And you're looking for a cup of water per se, right? But there's a fucking lake behind you that you could have seen if that
Absolutely,
pigeonhole
you're
wasn't there.
100% correct. Because if it was up to me, people don't drink tap water, so I'd be a thirsty motherfucker like at least 60% of the time because most of the shit is tap. If it was up to me, I like certain water, right? That's ridiculous because there's also a lot of water, like you said, right behind me. There's a whole shitload of water. The point is, stop making shit hard and pay attention to what you chose to pay attention to. For me, I'm burned out about my profession, and now I'm hired to feed my profession. I just thought that was
I
interesting.
mean, I could also have a cognitive overload of information too,
That's a
where
wonderful phrase. Cognitive overload.
yeah, because like by then having all these fucking variables in front of myself, then how do I know how to make the proper choice?
You
Or would the
don't.
honing pigeon with the pigeon honing would it help then sharpen me to become more focused and starting a task and finishing it?
Yes. And for you to be able to feel accomplished, for you to be able to raise that inner child of yours to meet the adult that you become right face to face. That's important to reach that level. When people like us don't have examples, we have to meet us. We have to like meet us where we're at and then raise that. That's a bitch if it's not part of a journey of some sort. I don't know what successful men look like. So as I get there, nigga, trust is gonna be kicking. Damn. But trust is gonna be kicking and screaming, and to let go of that bum ass dude I think I am is like losing a father I love to death. I don't know he's a bum when I'm loving him. So these
I mean, like
conversations, that shit is hard.
me shaping myself and moving forward is definitely I'm definitely going through a mental evolution.
Yeah, man, this is real.
Um I mean, I'm happy and I'm excited to where I'm going, but that's yeah,
Good shit.
definitely a fucking everyday battle.
Definitely. Every day, every hour, every fucking. Anyway, what do you do at the gym? You have whatever? You freestyle?
Hold on a second. Estoy filmando, te llamo para atrás. Just keep calling like something fucking happened. My mom traumatized me a while back, and now every time I get a phone call from her, I'm expecting it to be some fucking dire news and shit.
That causes fights when it's like.
No, it's not fights. It's just like it's a fucking thing in my brain. Like when that happened and the way she picked up the phone that day and we had that conversation, she fucked me up like, and I told her that and she goes, "Stop playing," and I'm like, I'm not kidding. Like I'm fucking serious about this shit. When you whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like, she's like, nah. But I mean, I don't blame my mom for certain things because like realistically, I couldn't expect my mom to be a perfect person when she's never been one to begin with. And I say that only because it's like, who was her role model? How was she brought up? Does she know that the good, like not the good and the bad, but like the orientation? Does she have the mental capability of being able to like live her life now, mold a life for a child, et cetera, et cetera? Like, I can't expect her to, live up to those standards when it's like this person's figuring it out too. Like,
But it don't sound like you forgave her though.
I mean, did I forgive her? I don't. I guess forgiveness. I don't think it was. I mean, it is a issue, but I don't hold her. Well, maybe I do, but just I don't make it a thing.
You do. You definitely do.
It's
Because
a
I heard.
tolerance. It's a tolerance. Remember
Oh,
we were talking about tolerance? There you
yeah.
go.
But if you haven't forgiven her, what do you think that's doing for her?
What do you mean?
Like you have a thing like not forgiving her as if it hurts her. Like so, I'm asking you directly. What is not? What do you get from not forgiving her?
But I'm not. I don't feel like I'm not. I don't feel like I'm not forgiving her.
Yeah, you are because you made her perfect imperfection less perfect because you focused on the imperfection.
Hmm?
You know the debate about perfect imperfection. Like there's no such thing as perfection. So like
Okay.
the whole package becomes perfect in its imperfection. Make sense?
Not that last part.
Perfect imperfection is like your partner, your parent. There's a bunch of shit wrong about them, but they overall did right.
Okay.
So perfect imperfection implies that even the imperfect is perfect because it made you who you are, type of shit. She has the imperfect be the focus, not the perfect, in the way you explained all that. So, what do you think not forgiving her does for her?
Nothing.
Right. So, what do you get from not forgiving her? Like, would you like to work on forgiving it? Those stories that you hold on to that hurt?
It, it's like it's I don't even know, would it say forgiveness? Because I know she didn't do it purposely.
Really, you care?
Huh?
You care?
What do you mean?
You care that it wasn't on purpose, or do you just have a judgment that it happened?
No, I mean I'm sure she didn't like psychologically be like, I'm gonna call him in this manner so that this whatever, and then that fucking caused a trigger in my brain.
Right. But if you're making it about her and not making it about your interpretation of what she did, it'll always be about what she did, not the way you saw it.
Okay, so then instead of blaming her, I'm blaming myself for then taking the information the way I took it and I interpret it.
And that didn't relieve you of the PTSD of every time she calls. So there's more work to be done around that because that sucks to have your mom's phone call bring up negative emotion like that, where it's hard to like you miss the person being your mom that you're on the phone with. Because if all that shit comes up every time she calls, that's horrible. Anyway, sorry, I just got sidetracked by that.
That's fine. It is what it is. It's just something that I'm also it's not on Front Street, but I'm also mentally dealing with.
Copy. Sorry, it came up and one of those I should have just ignored.
No. It is what it is. You know, this is something that I also want to talk about on here. Like, I
Okay.
really want to make this shit into something. I really want the evolution of myself to be shown on here, and I think that's gonna be fucking amazing. And I need to start doing this shit for myself. I've been finding reasons to do this for a reason, and I think this is a really good reason. The other things that I want to do are going to be good reasons too. I don't just want to put out bullshit content or I want to bring value to whatever the fuck I'm doing. I want to bring value. Just
Good
like
shit.
how I try to talk to women and I regurgitate all this fucking information immediately because I want to show how valuable I am. Because I don't think you can see that from my fucking just what I'm wearing. Because 9 out of 10 times probably not going to be something that is like super like yeah, you know. So I'm immediately showing you my resume and be like, look, this is what I can do, blah, 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 as opposed to then being more like, selective on whatever. But yeah, just one of the things that I'm dealing with.
We all are, not just you. And the more you talk, the more we all see each other in each other.
Because I swear I'd be thinking like something's happening or whatever, and then yeah, that messes with
Copy. And how hard is it to let go of?
having conversations. I don't
No,
know.
but in your mind, like on your own, does it stay with you or is it easy to shake off?
I mean, it happened a few years ago.
So it's not easy to shake off. Got it.
That happened what? That happened. It's been like 7 years.
So
When I was working at Thiago's, but when I was working in Ridgewood, that's when I got the phone call.
mm,
Yo, she was crying, whatever, and because her man at that point he blew his kufi off.
mm,
So when she picked up like that, that really, and then she goes, and then what triggers it is too is like when she goes, she says my name,
mm,
which fucking annoys me. Cause like, dude, who else are you fucking talking to, my guy? Like, you're calling me. Why are you picking up the phone? And then also, then it kind of like fucks with me when other people do it. Like
mm.
one of my coworkers at the job, he'll be like, Fayez, and I'll be like, nigga, who else are you talking to, bro? Like, it's me. You're calling me. Why are you like? I don't call you and be like, hey, Lewis, or I don't be like, hey, like, I don't, whatever. That's just me too, though. Like, but I don't initiate the conversation with like saying the person's name because it's just like, I'm calling you. Why are you saying my name? And then, but yeah, that has because that she picked up the phone like that. She was like, and then that really like so for like the first couple of months when I would pick up the phone, I'd be like, hello.
Mm,
And then like if I heard everything was cool, then I would like put it close to my ear.
mm. Good shit. Very nice conversation, sir. Same time next week.
Guys, please remember, write us. Like we trying to get this going so that we could work on trying to get a hotline going and we could then actually bring people on and have these conversations.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna probably make this one of the I don't, because what we're gonna do on Patreon is we're gonna have an extra bonus one, but I think that's where we're gonna add the monthly collective. I already got one person. I got my homie Kev. He's willing to come on. So now it's up to you to get one more person. You know, like Fight Club. I bring one, then they bring one, and then we just keep going like that.
Good
So
shit.
this way, it can, now that we're all gonna speak on at the same time, because it's not like we're gonna have a conversation with 40 people. But you know, then so then they bring a person on, then we can then switch places with that person and blah blah blah, and then we can whatever. I'll be, you know what I would like to do eventually is a test of like getting a panel of different therapists and then opening up a hotline for people to call and then see where we get more, like who gets more requests.
Do you know how hard that would be?
I don't know. I was just thinking about it earlier while I was smoking.
That is really hard to do because not every therapist is the same therapist, and we ain't gonna tell each other that you whack.
Okay, I guess it's gonna fucking hit people's egos. So
Ooh,
like a
like
motherfucker.
every therapist has like a thing, like a strength. Let's say one is good with this, one is good with that.
I was just, you know, I was thinking, I was like, oh, that would
But
be
the keep to
interesting.
what I'm good at the cost of my relationships with these people. Sir, assalamu alaikum. I gotta call my daughter. See you next week.
You're my friend. I see you next week, my friend. Oh, and goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for tuning in. See you next week.